Welcome, Patriots, to the AmRRON Communications channel. In this video, we're not going to focus specifically on communications, although there are communications involved. But the question came up this week among some Patriot groups, maybe even one of the AmRRON channels, asking, hey, is everybody considering your EDC or your everyday carry, modifying that? We're obviously in a transitional phase right now. There's been a tectonic shift societally, politically, right down to the soul level of our nation with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And that, of course, has had ripple effects going around the world with his message, where they tried to shut it down, and it actually had the opposite effect. It blew up in their faces, and it has actually amplified his message hundreds fold. So it has made his popular videos, presentations, and debates go from tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views to millions, and then literally billions of views around the world. But there now are some political changes now with designating Antifa, possibly some other groups on the extreme far left, as terrorist organizations. And so the dynamics could change. Right now, it's kind of a matter of who's going to blink. You know, what's next? Everybody's asking, where do we go from here? What can we expect in the future? You know, once the newness, the rawness of this settles down, where are we going to go? And it could get worse before it gets worse and before it gets better. So it could create potentially an inherently different and dangerous, increased danger to just normal day-to-day activities, depending on how things go. Right now, it feels like the Pulp Fiction scene, you know, the toaster scene, where there's kind of this silent moment with the stare down, wondering who's gonna move, who's gonna make their move next, who's gonna act next, what's that gonna look like, what kind of move is somebody gonna make, and then the toaster pops up. That's kind of how it feels right now. So what I wanted to do was take a moment to go through my personal EDC, my everyday carry gear, the gear that I always leave the house with. Not really anything has changed, but maybe this is something, and I'm talking about beyond your 72-hour kit that's, you know, that you always keep in the car, or your go bag that you keep ready to go at a moment's notice to grab and run out the door with in case of an emergency. I'm talking about things that you don't leave the house with, you always have with you. And so even if you take a different vehicle, you jump in somebody else's vehicle to take a ride somewhere, it's that gear that you always make sure that you have with you. So let's talk about that. I'll go through mine right now.
All right, so this is my bag. My other camera, something's wrong with my SD card, so I'll just grab my GoPro. So the first thing I'll do is get out the first piece of gear is a external battery pack with USB ports on the back, and of course this has a flashlight as well. This is a great piece of equipment, especially for charging, you know, your electronics, and has the flashlight. I'll put some links to some of this gear in the video description, but I got this battery pack out so we can get some light. I've got a USB powered light on a tripod. There we go. Hit the go button. All right, now we got some light, and set up the tripod. these are pretty slick little lights too, little task lights. So this bag, I don't even know what brand it is. Shangri-La Victory Gear. But I'll go around the outside first. Of course, a Leatherman. I bought the OHT, which is the one hand opening. So just pinch, drop, and also I wanted the spring loaded. So that's a great para tool. Well, it's actually a Leatherman OHT, and that sucker is just has been such a great tool. Now, of course, this pack, or this end, has this battery pack. Also cables. On all my cables, I have USB-C cables, but I also bought a pack of these adapters that have USB-C adapters on it for pretty much anything you run into, or whether it's USB-C or USB-A. You'll be able to charge pretty much anything off of this charger. So that goes in that pack as well. On the other end, I keep a VTech UV Pro, and the antenna is right here with a BNC connector. And of course, stream light, flashlight. That goes in the top. On the outside though, tourniquet. Everybody should have a tourniquet on them. That should be part of your everyday carry gear. At least one. And I have a couple of med kits that have the tourniquets in there as well. So I have usually several on me. But if nothing else, I'll grab this bag, and this has got at least one tourniquet. So let's go into the side pouch here. This is where I keep fixed blade knife, Phil Rose knife. That sucker is awesome. And spare mags for the Glock. I've got Glock 19. I carry a Glock 19, but these are Glock 17 mags, so they're extra capacity.
You got 3 pistols and you only got 1 arm, for Christ's sake.
I just don't want to get killed for lack of shooting back.
Narcan, which is free. You can pick that up from any fire station, and I strongly recommend having at least one Narcan on you in case you encounter somebody that's overdosed from coming into contact with fentanyl or anything else. Incapacitated driver that's OD'd or what have you. Or it could be a family member as well. So I keep that. All right, and inside the main compartment, if I don't have it on my person, I will have my Glock 19 with Works holster and Streamlight. Inside this bag here, I keep Quick Clot, blood stopping pack, a portable water filtration system that will go onto a water bottle, and water bottle. And these caps right here, I don't like drinking out of those caps. It's like I feel like a baby, a little sippy thing. But and I buy water bottles and just keep refilling them because I'm cheap. But I like this size right here that comes with that size of cap. But I want this type of cap. So I bought a couple bottles and I just kept the caps and I just put them on the size of the water bottle that I like. And the reason why is because one time I got something in my eye, something blue in my eye, and it was pretty painful. And Lady Liberty ran into the store to get a bottled water so I could flush my eye out, and it was a regular bottled water with this type of cap, and I couldn't get enough water pressure to flush out my eye. So I started carrying these type of water caps so that I could squeeze the bottle and have increased water pressure for flushing out a wound or flushing out my eyes. So that's part of my kit. And also I keep a small fire extinguisher. It's like the size of a large can of, well, it's almost the size of a bottled water. But this became part of our kit when we saw Antifa leftist attacking police in France. What they were doing is taking like a small water bottle and squirting this flammable liquid on police who were completely unaware, and then lighting them on fire. So we started thinking, let's start keeping small fire extinguishers in our kits. And plus, you may encounter a vehicle fire or anything. So, and it's pretty inexpensive, one-shot deal, and it could make the difference. So those are my everyday carry. And then, of course, zip ties are in here, small zip ties, and then Velcro straps. Those are super, super helpful. And normally, I also carry the 3M brand electrical tape, but I used it for something and I grabbed it out of this bag, so I don't have it in this bag. I'm going to have to replace it, put that back in there before I put the kit away for the rest of the day. But that's pretty much my EDC. I've got a couple of other bags that one's my e-bag. It's electronics, and that's where I have my scanner, a shortwave radio, my Malahit wideband radio receiver, and some other stuff. I might do a video on my e-bag, and then maybe a video on my first aid kit where I have additional trauma gear. But there it is, UV Pro, fixed blade knife, external battery, small fire extinguisher, bottled water with the small nozzle so you can have higher pressure for flushing wounds or debris in your eyes, water filtration, quick clot, tourniquet, Narcan, spare mags, handgun, some type of one-handed para tool, Leatherman type, one each, and cables for charging your different gear. And that's it. That's a wrap. That's my kit. That's my everyday carry right there. Never leave home without it.
And of course, you've got your cell phone and your wallet. But I don't consider that part of my EDC, even though I do carry it every day. But that's just something that we usually don't have too far away from us anyway. What do you have in your EDC? What do you have in your kit? Let us know. Put it in the comments down below and share with others. You might have some really good ideas, things that I might want to add to my kit, and we'll pass it along and help others. And if you thought this was helpful, consider buying me a cup of coffee. Click on the link also in the description. You guys be safe out there. Be vigilant. Be dangerous, but be moral and be ethical and be lawful. This is John Jacob Schmidt. Get your comms up. Out.